Hello, my name is Zhatelier, welcome back to another episode of Valhalla Vanguard in Aurora Forex. VB6 to be precise. And I will be finishing this series before I move on to C# as a Let's Play, and I've been already alluding to it in the comment section, and I think I may have mentioned it in another episode. But I basically have a multiplayer series coming up with some other content creators. I'll be doing the actual playing and all that, but the other people will be role-playing their nation's leaders. To some degree, anyway. But we are still waiting for these missiles to hit, so let's have a look. What damage can we do? It's going to take a few more turns before we actually hit anything. But what I'd like to see is destroying a magazine in Ismon, because that would lower the amount of missiles coming in, most likely. Okay, seeing some more missiles back at the main fleet, but that's nothing new, really. And it's going to take a while before we can shoot again our missiles, so we're just going to have to deal with it for the time being. Wait a minute, we're seeing thermal contact. Oh, they might be because of the... Right, Deep Space Tracking Station is seeing the missiles. Which means that they might be seeing the missiles as well. With their tracking stations, most likely. Which can be a problem. So a few more turns and we should be getting some hits here. I certainly hope that we can... I mean, we shot only very few missiles this turn, so I don't think we'll be able to destroy anything like this reload cycle. Okay, so these should be hitting about now. Okay, so they shot one of them down. Let's have a look. We did not penetrate the armor, by the looks of it. Okay then. But yeah, pretty good hits though. So it was the Colossus 1. Let's actually have a look at the Colossus. How much do we know about it? At least an armor of 2. That much we do know. And honestly, that's about it. We don't know all that much. Right, well, the next hits will be on Inismon. And again, since we only penetrated 2 layers of armor, it's going to be a bit tricky. But who knows, maybe Inismon, considering how many missiles it's been spitting out, it's probably not having all that much armor. And it's I think it's probably about 25% magazines and another 25% launchers. Then some engines in there and probably not much armor. So yeah, we should be able to get some hits on that soon. There's about a minute left on the flight time there. After these, we'll have a look at what's going on closer to the actual fleet. Hopefully the castles have not been able to catch us yet. I suppose we'll find out. Okay, well, at least we are shooting down their missiles, as per usual. And probably after this episode I'll do a bit of a time skip and just keep this battle going, because otherwise this is going to be 20 episode fight. That's a bit too slow for that. I do want to get to the actual fighting against the invaders within few episodes, so yeah, I'll probably, after this episode I'll do a time skip, but I'm not going to do the time skip inside the episode. But in the meanwhile, I might as well tell you about the multiplayer series. So there's going to be myself plus 7 other content creators. Okay, so they shot down 3 of them. It's not streaming atmosphere. Okay, so we probably know now that the Innismon has at least 2 layers of armor. Yeah, at least 2. Okay, well that's not all that helpful. Right, back over here. The castles are still trying to catch up. Right, so it's me plus 7 others, at least currently. And instead of space warfare, it's actually going to be, we're going to be adapting the stuff for Age of Sail. So there's going to be, I'm going to be playing as the pirates and causing chaos everywhere. Then there's going to be Great Britain, France, Spain, Netherlands, Portugal, Ottoman Empire, and the Mughal Empire. And yeah, that's all the players. And we'll start with a little bit tech levels in there. And the main weaponry used will be carronade, and the speeds of the ships are going to be fairly slow. Like, I've done a bit of a conversion so that 1 knot of speed is about 200 kilometers per second, so the average speed will be about, or considering that the average speed of a ship of a line or something like that, or any of the Age of the Sail ships, was usually about 4 to 6 knots. So the speed will be about somewhere around 1000 kilometers per second, which should be alright. And a carronade will indeed be the primary weapon, and each carronade is as many cannons as it is in hull size. So for example, the smallest one is 4 hull size, so that means 4 cannons of 6-pounders. And then I am using a historical cannon size. Like there's it goes up in 2-pound increments in my adaptation here then. So, oh, and then there's the lasers will be used, but they are for chaser guns or long range guns for at the bow or the aft. Meaning that they will only be used once you are outside of the effective range of the carronade. Not the max range, but like once you're in a point where the carronade would be only doing maybe 1 damage per hit or something like that. Or at least a very small amount of damage, then I will be switching to the lasers. Not every ship will have the lasers, of course. And all nations will start with a fleet, depending on the nation, the fleet size. And of course there's going to be pre-made galaxy with about, currently it's 53 the number of systems of various waters and such. And yeah, that'll be pre-made and all that. And I will make the, once I have it done, at least the galaxy itself, I will make it available to the public, just so that people can play on it if they want. Okay, so the ion missiles should be hitting soon. But yeah, I'm very excited for the series. Because the Innismon is over here. Let's have a look. Will we be hitting it soon? It should be, but we'll see about that. But then there's also ghost cannons will be like deck guns and such, very small caliber, and like grenades and so forth. That will be shot right before at point blank range. And then railguns will be, I'll consider as crepe shots. Of course, if you want to use grape shots, then you'll have less space in your ship for other stuff. And then the different ship rates will be used. And they'll have like a designated size. It's not necessarily like designated tonnage. Not a strict tonnage, but more of a guideline that if a ship is much bigger than that, then it should probably be the next rate. And I'll also figure out age of sail appropriate names for all the minerals and such. Like duranium is wood, and galicite is sailcloth and rigging, thorium is food, and so forth. So it's going to be rather interesting to see. I've never really done a multiplayer game, not at that scale anyway. But there are a few things that I still kind of need to wait for the series, for a few patches and such, which by the time this episode airs, well, at least some of them probably will have been fixed. But we'll see. Right, so it's still going to take a while over there. Let's have a look at the castles down this way. Can we... The castles are over there. It's only 3 million kilometers at this point. They're not firing missiles at us, so they probably have particle beams. But we'll see. If they get close enough, then I think I'm just going to separate the cruisers to go in there and like get very close and destroy them point blank, basically, and then pull them back again to the main fleet. Because the cruisers, there's 4 of them, they should be able to do a fair bit of damage. They are getting slightly closer. Question is, will they get close enough? And that I do not know. Right, I assume that the iron missiles should be hitting soon. At least the castles are still far away. And it's not, well, there's still a bit of a distance there. Probably gonna take another minute or two. At least a minute or two. But yeah, assuming that the castles cannot intercept us, then our kiting will be rather successful. And eventually, if we are kiting long enough, then majority of the ships should be rather close to their planet itself, which is both good and bad. Okay, we should be hitting now. Maybe, yes. Okay, they destroyed half of them, but we did get 4 hits, and... Let's see, is there... No. We didn't penetrate the armor again. But it's a few more hits. I think if we send in the size 6 missiles towards that, then we should be able to destroy, but I think it might have run out of missiles now, because I don't see new missiles in here. Which means that it's probably just going to go back to the planet and then return. Right, let's zoom in here again. So we are now shooting at the missiles as we should. Let's see, can we take... Well, no, I don't want to take 30-second increments quite yet. Because there's still a lot of salvos coming in. Oh, the Endeavours are over there as well. Interesting. The amount of missiles has slowed down quite significantly, though. But we should be okay to keep on going. At least that's what I hope. Right, I think after these two we can start taking 30-second increments. To some degree, anyway. I have to keep an eye on the castles to see how close they can actually get. Now I think they've reloaded some missiles somewhere because now they're shooting the Strength 4 missiles towards us again. Now I can see a salvo over there. Question is, of course, are we far enough for not having to worry about the missiles actually? Or not? Although one thing that I'm considering is maybe using the iron missile to take out the castles that are pursuing us. And then the magnesioplasma drive missiles on the bigger ships. And what we can do is, once we run out of the iron missiles, for example, on some of the ships, then we'll send in 2 of the spikes back. Actually, we should probably use the 30-second increments now. If it allows us to do that. Probably not, actually. Let's see. Will it allow a 30-second increment? Nope. It's still 5-second increments. Never mind then. So we have officially entered the 5-second hell a long time ago. Yeah, I've given the C# version a bit of a spin already. Not a huge amount of stuff that I've done there, but a little bit. And yeah, the speed or the performance improvement is quite significant. Now there is a few gripes, well, not necessarily gripes, but a few things that I hope that the C# version did better. I mean, for example, on the class design screen on there, you can't actually see all the important data of the stuff at a glance from all the different components, which I certainly hope that would be there, but I understand why it isn't there. You can still click on the component and then it will show you all the data that you need. So it's not that bad, but it's it makes few things a bit slow when you're designing stuff, since you can't see at a glance on, okay, I mean, you can see how much space you technically have on the ship still, considering if you know how big of a ship you want to make. But at the same time, you can't see immediately that, okay, these and these we can fit in here still without going over the limit. Of course, once you know the components, then it's not really that big of a problem, but I can imagine that it being, especially for some newer players, it can be a bit more difficult. But that's one of the few things that are actually not necessarily better in every aspect than in this version. Okay, getting some hits on the enemy missiles there. I think the amount of missiles has been increasing. Right, and we should probably try to destroy the Endeavours and such as well. Yeah, I would think what I'm going to start using the iron missiles on is just use them on the pursuing ships. And the MPDs and the size 6 missiles will be used on enemy missile ships that we can kind of track by the amount of missiles flying in. Yes, the castles are currently at 2.3 million kilometers away. Still pretty long distance. I think they are shooting more missiles every 10 seconds. If we take this, we might be able to go more than 5 seconds. No, it just went for 5 seconds. I think we'll just stick with that then. But yeah, after this episode I'll do a bit of a time skip while I try to destroy some of these ships here. Now of course if something significant happens then I will bring you back, or like something disastrous. If I manage to destroy some ships then I'll probably just keep on going. Because at this point this is just a war of attrition. And well, it can be interesting. I think seeing... Well, I mean, this... let's see, this war has already lasted for 6 episodes. This is the 7th episode. And yeah. With this speed, we'd probably have another 20 episodes of this, so I will do a bit of a time skip. But hopefully I can destroy any of the ships trying to pursue us. Because those are the particle beam ships for the most part, I think. Also that would lessen the amount of spam on the map itself, a little bit at least. And to be fair, I can utilize the ion missiles or the missile launchers in a way that I will only shoot like 2 missiles per ship. Or something like that. Or maybe, I think 3... hold on, we got 8 per size. Well, at least it's size 3 and 6. I have to think about that. How much longer do... We shot the missiles at 2006. So we're about halfway done with reloading. And at the next reload cycle, we'll actually be able to shoot the size 6 missiles. At least with all the ships that have them. But yeah, the 5-second hell is very much a thing right now. We'll get this sorted out one way or another for the next episode. And I'll probably, in between the episodes, I'll start sending in troop ships with new units to Alta already. And from there I'll then bring them in. Once we've managed to destroy the enemy ships on the orbit, then we'll just bring in the troops and capture the planet. Hopefully we can manage to capture the planet before the invaders hit. I mean, we still got about a year and a day before we activate them. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 episodes before that. Yeah, I'll actually end the episode here a bit sooner than usual, just because there's not going to be much at the end of this episode. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.